Okay, what we want to do here is uh, we want to do 6.2. Here's a line M and point C not on the line. Use a straight edge and compass tools to construct a line perpendicular to line M that goes through point C. Before we do that, however, I'm going to pull up this little reminder from lesson 5. And this reminder from lesson 5 says for the perpendicular line, okay, for this perpendicular line, first we need to start by finding 2 points on the line the same distance from a given point. So here's my given point, right, in the middle. And to find 2 points on the line that are the same distance, I draw a circle. And I know that now these 2 points that are on this small circle are the same distance from the point in the middle. Now what we're going to do is we need to construct a circle, a big circle, so that the radius of the big circle, okay, is the diameter of that small circle. So the radius of the big circle here is the diameter of this small circle, and we do 2 of those. So we construct the circle on the left, we will call this circle B, and the circle on the right, we'll call this circle C, and this point in the middle, we'll call it A. Okay, so now we have these 2 big circles B and C, and every point on circle B is the same distance away from point B. Every point on circle C is the same distance from point C. Where these 2 circles intersect at the top, we'll call this point D, and at the bottom, we'll call this point E. Where those 2 circles intersect, these 2 points are the same distance away from both B and C. So when we connect those points, we've created the perpendicular bisector. I know it's perpendicular to BC, and I know it's going to bisect or go through the center of segment BC. Okay, so remember that from lesson 5. Now what we need to do is go back here. Here's a line M and point C not on the line. The first thing we have to do is make sure that we get 2 points on this line M that are the same distance from point C. We do that by drawing a circle. Let me undo that. I want that point F to be on my line M. There it is. So I know that C to F is going to be the same distance. Now I'm going to use the intersect tool. C to F is the same distance as C to G. Okay, so now what I want to do is if I create the perpendicular bisector from lesson 5 of this new segment down here on the bottom, GF, then I know that I've got, it'll go through point C. So all I'm going to do now is create a circle down here centered at G with radius GF, and another circle centered at F with radius FG. These 2 circles are congruent. If I find these intersection points, H and I, and then draw a line through HI, notice it goes through point C. So I've drawn a line through point C that is perpendicular to line M. Now when we scroll down here, we're going to make a parallel line. And the parallel line, let me go back to OneNote quick. If I'm talking about a parallel line, realize that if I have this first line, we'll call it line L, and I have the perpendicular line, we'll call this line M. If this is perpendicular, in order to get a parallel line to line L, if I draw a line that is perpendicular to my first perpendicular, that makes these 2 lines parallel. And we'll call this red line, line N. So I know that L and N are parallel because they're both perpendicular to this same line M. Now I can go back here. So basically, if you can draw a perpendicular line, you can draw a parallel line, because all you have to do is draw two perpendicular lines. One that's going to go up and down through C, and one that's going to go side to side through C. So we're going to start with this first perpendicular, and we're doing just the same thing that we did last time, right? We're making these circles and finding where they intersect. Here and here. Perfect. And then connect that line like so. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hide these two circles. Because I don't want that to get in our way. Now, notice what we've done here is we've drawn a line. This line HI is perpendicular to line M, and it goes through point C. What we need to do now is draw a perpendicular to this line HI that goes through point C. Well, that's good news, because we already have these two intersections of this circle centered at C that goes through this line HI, and those intersections are J and K. And I know that J and K are both the same distance away from C. So now I draw another circle centered at K with radius KJ, and a circle centered at J with radius KJ. Find the intersection of these two circles, L and M, connect those, and I have a parallel line to M. Now let me hide some of these objects. Hide this circle, hide this circle. Boom. Now you can see that I have a parallel line and a perpendicular line, and this parallel line is perpendicular to my original perpendicular line.